A roundup of the latest news now. Here are our top stories. 29-year-old African-American man Tyre Nichols is beaten to death by Memphis police, as earlier this month Rihanna reverses her boycott and sings at some American football event. We'll have a special report. Turkey and Syria quake, death toll tops 41,000, why some lives matter more than others. 1 in 5 eating food beyond use-by dates due to the cost of living crisis. We'll have a panel debate. And Japan's falling birth rate, why the country is encouraging its population to copulate. More on those top stories to come. First to the US, where Memphis police beat unarmed black man Tyre Nichols to death on the 7th of January. Body cam footage circulated online shows the officers, all since dismissed from their positions and indicted on second-degree murder and other criminal charges, beating, pepper spraying and swearing at Mr. Nichols, who was father to a 4-year-old son. Nichols was hospitalized after the incident in critical condition and died in hospital 3 days later. The US National Football League, or NFL's so-called Super Bowl event, took place just over a month later on the 12th of February. It attracted 113 million TV viewers, over a third of the US population. NFL player Colin Kaepernick's decision to take the knee during the American national anthem in 2016 in protest at racial inequality and police brutality was a key moment in the evolution of the Black Lives Matter movement, which turns 10 years old this year. Following this gesture, the player was ostracized by both his club and the NFL, and remains a free agent, unattached to any club. As a result of the NFL's perceived retaliation against Kaepernick, pop singer Rihanna took the decision 6 years ago to boycott the Super Bowl, the NFL's showpiece event. She reversed her decision earlier this month as she sang her song Umbrella at halftime during the 2023 edition. With me in the studio to discuss the issue is Professor Demetrius Hunter III, an expert in African American history. Demetrius, thanks for joining us. Why did Rihanna reverse her decision, do you think?
Hey, Bob. Well, some people are saying she's not going to make any money because singers don't get paid for playing the Super Bowl, but the fact remains that it's a profile raiser, and this is a case of publicity over principles. She prefers to get her face on TV, even if it's for free, and even if it means implicitly endorsing an institution which is engaged in discriminatory practices and racially motivated retaliation, the NFL. In short, millions of dollars are shining bright like a diamond and entering Rihanna's bank account as we speak. She's about to have a child, so I guess she needs the money to invest in, gold-plated diapers, something like that.
Do you think that Rihanna, who is of course black herself, should have taken a stance and not performed?
First of all, taking a position on something that matters is not confined to the black community, even though they may relate to the issues at stake more than other communities. Rihanna is a pop star from Barbados, whose primary experience of the United States, far from being victimized by its racism, is to make money from the Americans who listen to her music. Maybe that's why she didn't think twice about ending her boycott and performing. Even so, I do think it was bad timing, and with yet another high-profile, extrajudicial police killing taking place just a month before, it's not a time for black people to sing in endorsement of the very institutions which are quietly keeping them down.
What about the killing of Tyre Nichols by Memphis police? Why did black police officers do this to a member of their own community? And why do these killings keep happening?
The lessons haven't been learned from George Floyd and from the countless other police killings that have become so frequent they have been normalized in public discourse and media coverage. Given this history, you cannot blame the black community for viewing the police with fear, suspicion, and disdain, including when a member of their own community puts on the uniform. In fact, even more so. Black people who join the police are often perceived as sellouts or traitors in the black community. It's like a Jew who joins the Nazis. So the police have a tremendous amount of trust to rebuild and wounds they need to heal in the community. But this issue is not about the end product and frontline policing alone. This issue is about addressing the root cause, which is the standing of the black community in U.S. society in general. Discriminatory practices across institutions and state boundaries, the uneven distribution of wealth, unequal access to education, justice, and America's failure to progress beyond ethnic lines going back to slavery. the colossal injustice which has never been apologized for and whose victims have never been compensated. Demetrius, thank you very much indeed. To Turkey and Syria now, and the earthquake that took place there earlier this month has now claimed over 41,000 lives. The death toll and the speed with which it has faded from front-page news has reignited the debate about racial profiling in the media. With me to discuss the issue is media commentator Hasan Çiçekli. Hasan, what's the issue here?
Hello, Bob. The issue here is that your ethnicity affects the amount of Western media coverage you receive when you die. For example, the murder of a white child is worth approximately one mass killing of 100,000 Africans in terms of the amount of media coverage they receive. Turks and Syrians are probably somewhere in between in terms of priority, according to Western media. The point is, the media drives racial stereotypes and bias. A severe earthquake took place in Kashmir in 2005 and killed nearly 100,000 and displaced 2.8 million people. Another killed over 300,000 people in Haiti, a relatively small country, in 2010. Does anyone remember these events? No. Why? Because their victims were brown and black, and their presence in Western media coverage was even more fleeting than even the tenure of former UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. To the UK, and 1 in 5 Britons has reported consuming food beyond its sell-by date due to the current cost of living crisis. Joining me via video link to discuss the issue is Frank Goodmays, a father of 3 from East London, and Jean Kassongo, a father of 8 from Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Frank, let's start with you. What's been happening and how has it affected you? All right, Bob, I'm a lorry driver from Dagenham, and the price of supermarket products has gone up massively. But my salary ain't changed, so I've got to explain to my kids why they're eating expired Peppa Pig strawberry fromage frais from the reduced section at Asda. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly a comfortable conversation.
Jean, tell us about your situation.
Hello, Bob. I sympathize a great deal with Frank's situation. In DR Congo, if you have food on the table, expired or not, that's a blessing. It's one of the poorest countries in the world. The average annual salary is below $800. That gives you an idea of the terrible predicament we are in. In no more than 30 seconds, can you each tell me why you think you're facing this situation? Jean, let's start with you.
In our case, it is a history of political upheaval and instability, as well as authoritarian rule. Frank?
Well, it's exactly the same here, isn't it, mate?
Frank, Jean, thank you. Japan is struggling with a falling birth rate. The country has a population of 125 million, but has seen its birth rate fall from 2 million in the 1970s to just 800,000 last year. This has resulted in an aging population and not enough young people to pay taxes to support it. Fumitaki Seishi of the JCCE, or Japanese Center for Copulation Encouragement, made the following statement from Tokyo yesterday.
You need to fuck, you simply need to fuck to avoid the decimation of our population. Please procreate before it's too late. You must derive your seed, it's a national good deed. Please take it in and enjoy it while it lasts. Please take it in and enjoy it while it brass. You have the capability to display your validity, otherwise we will imprison you and find you guilty. It's all we can do. Condoms are banned, even if it's only job with hand. Avocados in vast amount will increase your sperm count.